few seconds to center ourselves while we wait for more people to come. So if you wish, you can take a few deep breaths with me. Hello and welcome to this live. I'm happy to be here. I haven't done one for a while. We're live on Instagram and YouTube. So hello everyone. I have a lot of questions, as you can see. I have 3 sheets of paper. I'll try to answer as many as I can. If I don't have the time, don't worry. I will take your questions and answer them for the next live, probably in February. Before we start, I want to say that I have about 2 or 3 spots left for my Focus 2025 tarot reading. So if you're wondering what the theme will be for you this year, life lessons, what's going to happen in career, spiritual development, relationships, all of that, you can go check out my calendar. I think I have 2 to 3 spots left. And I am going to start by sending good vibes to everyone in LA, everyone who has been affected by the wildfires. My heart goes to you, and I invite all of you to send good vibes to everyone. I don't know why, but my spirit guides are showing me send white light, send white light. So send good vibes, and if like me you are psychic and you understand what they mean by send white light to them. And I'm going to start with the first question that is about the wildfires. So we have with me here, who's asking, how do elementals respond to wildfires and environmental crises affecting Mother Earth? First of all, for those of you who don't know what elementals are, they are spirits of nature, and they are affiliated with one of the 4 elements. For example, for the earth we have the gnomes, for the air we have the sylph, for water we have the undines, and for fire we have the salamander. Personally, I'm also including the phoenix. There are more than just these elementals that I mentioned, but these are the core ones, and they are the spirit of their element. And I asked a question, and of course the fire elemental came through and said that it's all about balancing. And there has been a lot of unbalance in the world in terms of, environment. We've seen it with the huge floods. We have had a lot of wildfires for the past 3 to 4 years, volcanoes erupting and all of that. So it's all about bringing balance. And they were saying it is part of balancing with the state of the planet. It always has been, but there is more balancing to do right now. Every hardship comes with a gift. We know that through our transmutation, something even better will be born. Do not despair. Mother Earth loves you. Show her that you love her too. And so what I was getting from the fire elemental is that fire transmutes a lot, and it transmutes negative energy. It helps transmute the source of a blockage, and there was this strong belief that the wildfires are there for something. For some people, it's going to bring more consciousness into their lives, bring their lives to another step. maybe reorienting their careers, stuff like that came through. What my spirit guides reminded me as well is that all this lack of balance that there is on Earth right now regarding the environment, it is due in big part by the fact that there are a lot of young souls. And when the spirit guides notice that, they put a hold, like a stop, a pause on creating new souls. Because when a new soul is created, it is a young soul, and young souls have less of an environmental consciousness. You know, they think that they are the superior race, that humans are the superior race. And I have been reminded that, you know, we're all equal, and it's important to consider ourselves as equal to the earth, nature, and animals. And by stop creating young souls, well, the young new souls, I mean, young souls get the time to become older souls. So if you want to take a look at what I have posted earlier or in videos, I talk about old souls and young souls. So young souls between ages 1 to 5, young souls, and levels or ages 6 to 10, it's old souls. So that's our soul journey. So it's all about giving the time to young souls to get more mature. But as old souls, we also have the responsibility of being an example and showing the way. So this is what we can do right now. And this was the message from the fire elemental. Again, my heart goes to everyone who has been affected by the LA wildfires, and I wish you all well, and take care of yourselves. Okay, second question is about the Akashic Records. It is from Danielle, and Danielle wants to know, when in the Akashic Records, I know you see past lives, but is it possible to see future lives? So first of all, if you don't know what the Akashic Records are, they are like a giant library containing the archives of every soul who has been incarnated. And in French, we call them the Akashic Archives. So you have your own Akashic Records where you can go and have all the information about your soul from its inception, meaning you know all the past lives you went through, all the visits that you've made on the astral plane, or if you want to call it the afterlife or the invisible world in between lives. Also, all the information about your soul plan before incarnating in this life. So all the choices that you made, so what's your soul types, life lessons, life missions, what karma you're going to balance, all of this is in your life plan. So you get access to that in the Akashic Records. Now the person is asking, can you see future lives? The thing is, yes and no, because I cannot tell for sure what your next life is going to be while you're already in this life. Meaning, if tomorrow you go rob a bank or commit a huge crime like murder, this is going to affect your soul's journey. So you are not going to evolve on your soul's journey. Meaning that we have 10 soul levels, and when number 10 is done, we stop reincarnating on Earth and we become a spirit guide full-time on the astral and then causal plane. And in level 10, the last level, it's all about love, how to give love, receive love, you know, having a feeling that we've learned everything that we needed to learn in this soul's journey on Earth. So it's not about being perfect and having a perfect last life. It's really about feeling that we understood everything that we needed to understand. And so if you commit murder tomorrow, that's going to affect, you know, your next life. You're going to want to balance karma related to this. So I cannot tell that. I can see glimpses of your current future. So you can ask your spirit guides. For example, I'm going to give you my example. I've asked them when I just started Meli Guidance, you know, and it was hard for me to show up, express myself, because I have a fear of self-expression that I'm navigating in this incarnation, and I wasn't sure, you know, am I going to have an impact? Does it matter? So I asked my spirit guides, can you please give me a glimpse of the future as Meli Guidance and show me, is it worth it and what can it look like? And they showed me myself in my 50s, and I'm at an event, and the event, I've talked somewhere, I don't know, some kind of event, maybe a conference, and I've talked to people, and it's over. And I have this woman and her daughter coming to me, you know, her daughter is an adult, coming to me to say thank you. And they showed me you have strong impact with women and you are meant to, you know, to speak up and eventually, you know, to be bigger than just on the web. So they encouraged me. So they showed me a glimpse of my future in this life. In terms of future lives, what I can see when I am in your Akashic Records is that I'm really good at reading life plans and reading how your soul wants to evolve. And oftentimes, if you are a level 9, 10 soul, which most of the people who ask me for a reading are, I can get a sense of what the soul wants for their last lives, or the type of impact they want to have on their last life and how they can get to that. And for some souls, it's all about, okay, I want to prepare myself to be a better leader. I want to prepare myself to be more rooted in love, more confident in myself, so that I can have a greater impact when I'm going to be near my last life. And for everyone, that's different, and that's what I can see. I can see, okay, right now you are in an incarnation where you're very much acting at a smaller community level, and having meaningful relationships like one-to-one or small groups, and you want to get accustomed to that, and you want to feel comfortable in speaking up with one-to-one or small groups, because your next life or lives is going to be much bigger, and you want to be confident in yourself for the next life. So this is kind of what I can glance about the future. Okay, let's move on to another question about starseeds. So this person wants to know, have the Akashic Records ever showed you starseeds' lives on other planets, and if so, what did it look like? First of all, if you don't know what a starseed is, everyone has their different opinions on that. What I have been shown by my spirit guides is that starseeds are people who are now incarnated on Earth, but have been incarnated before their Earth journey on other planets and or other dimensions. For example, I've seen starseed lives on Hadara, Andromeda. I'm never sure what's the name in English, Andromeda. I have seen Atlantis, I have seen the Pleiadians, and when I channel this in the Akashic Records, I see it just as I would see any other past lives on Earth. I see them as mini movies, so for me it's not very different, but it always has a whimsical feel, and the reason why I am saying this is because in some starseed lives, there are dragons, I've seen centaurs, I've seen fairies. So when I was in my past life on Adara, the way we looked was pretty much like humans. We were a bit taller, but it was pretty much the same look, the same build. But before Adara, I had another life, or I would say cycle of reincarnation. I've seen myself as a fairy with a centaur, which is really crazy to say, and it's one of the first past lives that I have seen in my Akashic Records when I was a beginner. And I'm saying this to let you know that if you're just starting, if you are in my level 1 Akashic Records reading course, and you have visited your Akashic Records, you know, for a short while, you can absolutely go and ask to see if you have any Starseeds lives or not, and you can see them. If you have already seen channeled a past life on Earth, it won't be much different channeling one that is from another planet or another dimension. Okay, next question is about channeling. So we have Marie-Pierre asking, for those of us who have clairsentience and claircognizance, are there specific things related to these two clairs that we can do to enhance how we perceive signs from our spirit guides? What should we look out for? So if you don't know what the 4 clairs are, they are clairvoyance, meaning when you channel, you see things. Clairaudience, meaning that you hear things usually with your 3rd ear, just like you would hear things when you are dreaming. There is also clairsentience, which means you are getting messages, answers through feelings and physical sensations. And there is also claircognizance, or clairknowing if you prefer, which means getting a download of information. So this person has claircognizance and clairsentience. And I get that when you have only these two, channeling can feel like you're channeling in nothingness, because it is less tangible for us as incarnated self to not see or hear. You might feel like you are in this dark emptiness. One thing that you can do, because I know that this person is in my channeling course, what you can do is really practice with my black screen exercise. You know, when you have that black screen, or you feel like you're in this emptiness, and you're patient and you wait for a message to come up via one of your clairs, and you just wait and you have this patience that it's fine, it's going to come, because you need to become comfortable with that sense of, oh my god, I feel like I'm in this nothingness because I cannot see anything. Claircognizance is a clair that a lot of people, if not most people, have without knowing it, because it is so not tangible. It's so obvious to say to someone, oh, I can see this or that, you know, it's easy to explain. So they don't think that when they channel they have claircognizance, because they don't recognize that they are getting a download of information. And that is because of doubt. Doubt is the main enemy of channeling and communicating with the spirit world, because when you are claircognizant, you're getting a download of information all of a sudden, and your first thought is, if you're doubting, this is just my imagination. This is why I have my free channeling cheat sheet, which shows you what's the difference between imagining and channeling. So you really need to let the doubt aside. What is specific about claircognizant is it happens fast. So when you get that download of information, trust it. If you are doing some automatic writing, go ahead and write. If you have ever seen me during a channeling Akashic reading session, you've seen how I can all of a sudden go and speak, and I can speak fast, and then boom, I stop and I say, oh, they're done answering that question. This is how clairknowing works. Now, I also channel with a mix of the 4 clairs, but I have a lot of claircognizance as well. And so this is how it goes. I don't doubt, something comes, I let it all out, and this is claircognizance. So be comfortable with that. About clairsentience, what you can do is that you can ask your spirit guides for more signs via your physical senses and feelings during your everyday life. So outside of a channeling session. For example, you ask a question in the morning and you ask your spirit guides, please send me the answer via Clairsentience so I can hone my Clairsentience skills. So maybe you asked a question, should I do X or Y? And then you're driving in your car and you feel some kind of freedom and you feel at ease, and there's absolutely no reason. There's no specific song on the radio, you know, but all of a sudden it's like, whew, I'm sensing this. You have your answer. Should you do this? Yes, you should. Just so that you're more comfortable with this type of communication. What else? Oh yeah, you can also take classes, energy classes like Reiki, to be more comfortable sensing the energy around you. That can help you a lot. Okay, I have another question about the Akashic Records. This person wants to know, what is the most surprising or the most incredible thing that you have seen in the Akashic Records? In my own Akashic Records, the most surprising and beautiful thing that I have seen is a group of fairies who had both a mix of feminine and masculine energy, who came to me and started to sing. And this was a session where I didn't really have a question. I just wanted to go into my Akashic Records and see what comes up and trust the process. And that's what came up for me. I still remember the melody that they sang to me. And they sang to me because there was a healing through their singing and their vibration. And that being said, there's always some sort of healing when you are in the energy of the Akashic Records. That happens every time. Even if you're channeling, doing an Akashic reading for someone else, you're also getting a healing there. So as an Akashic Records reader, I'm really lucky because I'm getting a boost every time I'm reading for someone else. And so that was the reason why they came, and it was really beautiful hearing their song, and it's always surprising. And I'm also, by the way, hearing songs when I'm channeling for other people, not in every session, but it happens once in a while, and that song has a specific signification. Talking about songs, if you're getting a song all the time, whether it's you have it in your head and then you get in your car and that song plays, that is a sign from your spirit team. And I have a post about this on Instagram and YouTube if you want to check it out. If you're on YouTube and you don't like social media, by the way, I have my, what do they call it, community or post section on YouTube, and everything that's on Instagram, I'm putting it on YouTube now, because I know a lot of people don't like social media, which is completely fine, but you can get all the information there. Okay, next question. Oh no, I forgot to say something that I liked in the Akashic Records, that when I channeled for someone else, I wanted to say as well. I channeled a past life. I've told it before, so maybe you know it already, but this woman had been a young woman in Italy, and she met a guy, fallen in love very quickly with him. He wanted to get married very quickly with her. They eloped, and once they eloped, he told her practically straight away that he was a spy. The reason that he married her is that he needed a woman to be a spy with him, because people wouldn't suspect a woman as much. It was, I cannot remember if it was in the 1600s. I would need to look up my notes again, but in these times, you know, people wouldn't suspect a woman that much. And he didn't marry her for love. It was all business, which, you know, was sad but still fascinating to learn. And that was all, that was a source of a blockage for the person I was reading. It was going all back all the way to that past life. It was about, you know, the fear of betrayal. And that person, by the way, she became, in that past life, she did become a spy. She did help the guy. She did like the thrill of it, if I remember well, but yeah, fascinating to read. Okay, next question. Still about the Akashic Records. For those of us who can communicate with our spirit guides easily through dreams, is it possible to consult our Akashic Records while we're sleeping? And if so, how can we prepare ourselves to do so? Okay. First of all, we don't technically need our Akashic Records to get all the information about our soul, because we are, at our core, we are pure energy, pure soul. And every night when we are in a deep sleep state, we go visit our spirit guides, we visit the astral plane, we visit people who are close to us in this life, with whom we share life missions, karmic agreements. So we do that actually every night. The reason why the Akashic Records help us when we want to channel our soul's wisdom, deep things, past lives, it's a easy gateway for us to access when we are awake and incarnated in our bodies. The way that we envision the archives, that we align with the energy of archives, Akashic Records. I'm thinking in French. Our Akashic Records, the way we, in my Akashic Records course, I show how we connect to the soul star chakra. So we raise our vibes high enough to connect to that energy while we're in a deep sleep. Very often we are in high energies and we access that. So my answer is yes, you can go into your Akashic Records while you're sleeping. What you can do is that you can write on a sheet of paper what you want to know, and or you can say out loud to your spirit guides, okay, tonight while I'm in a deep state of sleep, I really want to go into my Akashic Records. I want you to share a past life or anything you want to know. And very important, ask your spirit guides to remember about it once you wake up, and have a journal next to you so you note it when you wake up. Just like it can be your dream journal. It's practically the same thing, because your visit into the Akashic Records will show up as a visit in a dream. Okay. So next question is about past lives. This person wants to know, are fears that appear all of a sudden in our current lives often linked to past lives? So if the source of your fear is inexplicable, yes. What I mean by this is that, for example, in this life, if you have poisoned yourself, without meaning to, of course, you've poisoned yourself, you ate something you shouldn't have, and then you went to the hospital and you almost died. It was very traumatizing. And after that, you are super obsessed and stressed about food that is about to go bad, and you're unable to eat some kind of food. You need to eat it like 3 days before the past due date, because you're so obsessed with that. Now, this is a current life fear, that the fear is rooted in a current life event or trauma. It is really clear, cause and effect. You can see where it comes from. When you're unable to understand where a fear comes from and why it comes to you all of a sudden, you didn't fear something and then all of a sudden you fear it, it's from a past life. So I'm going to give you an example from my life. So where I live at the time, we could get our driver's license at 16 and start driving by ourselves at 16. And which I did, and I had no fear of driving or going on a highway. It was all fine. Then I hit 19, 20 years old and started driving, started being very, very stressed when I was on the highway. Couldn't understand why. And then, met my husband and asked him to take the car every time when we were going on the highway, because I just feel more comfortable that way. Until I had come to know a past life in Italy. I was a young man and I was a race car driver, and I had a fatal accident at 19. So this is how, you know, when I hit that age, my soul unconsciously, you know, gave me the remembrance of that past life, and I started being very stressed about driving on the highway. And by the way, I just happened to have a lot of different past lives where my life was cut short around 19, 20 years old. And so around that period, like, poof, a lot of fears came out into my life. So yeah, that's how it can show up. Okay, now I have questions about signs, and it's going to be our last question for this live. So, can an animal that shows up to us be sent to deliver a message? Of course. What you need to look out for is an animal that, you know, really like chooses you and comes to you and stares at you or stays very close to you, or maybe you didn't have seeds in your hand and this bird comes into your hand and stays there for a long, long time. Oftentimes it's signs of past loved ones. Even more so if you knew that you really liked, for example, bird watching with your grandpa, and then this specific bird that you both like comes to you. These are often signs from past loved ones. It can also be a sign from your spirit guides. If an animal keeps showing up in your life, maybe not all the time alive, but you keep seeing the same image, you see that animal on TV, on billboards, by the highway, that can be a sign that it's your spirit animal. So you can go and try to see what that means, what that spirit animal means. So yeah, that is how animals can be signs. If you are fascinated by signs, specifically signs by past loved ones, I encourage you to read the book Signs by Laura Lynn Jackson. She's got beautiful examples, fascinating. I loved it. I know you're going to love it. So this is it for me for this live. A few things I wanted to share. Don't worry if I haven't answered your question. I'm just going to keep it and answer it in the next live, probably in February. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up, to subscribe to the channel with, you know, everything that's going on with the algorithms. It's going to help get more people know about, you know, the spirit world and the Akashic Records and all of this. Yeah, don't forget 2 or 3 spots for the focus tarot reading if you're interested. If you want to know more about the spirit world, you're interested in starting to channel, get into your Akashic Records, I have a ton of freebies. Just go on my website, meliguidance.com, click on freebies, and you can get all of that there. If you speak French, I wrote a book on the Akashic Records. I'm also going to have 2 more books in 2025, so that's exciting. Coming up, my Akashic Records Level 2 Advanced course is coming up this year. And yes, if you are also into my channeling course, I want to get out the advanced course as well. I'm going to start with the Akashic Records course. It's an advanced course that will show you how to read for others. If you want to be the first to know about when this course will launch, subscribe to my newsletter so you can get the pre-launch date and also the pre-launch price. So this is it for me, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the live. Take care. Bye bye.